The CrossFit Games are the world's foremost test of fitness. Thousands of athletes from around the globe compete. 100 make it to the finals, and in the end, only one man and one woman are declared the fittest on earth. These athletes need to be ready for anything. The events are always different and announced just before the competition. Long, short, heavy, fast, tall, awkward. They train year-round for any eventuality. Now they have to prove their fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are at the 2011 Reebok CrossFit Games NorCal Regional. Santa Clara Fairgrounds. The skies are ominous. We had rain yesterday. It's come down to the final day. We are entering the final event for the women. These ladies are going to be subjected to what we call a chipper in CrossFit. Multiple events. They're going to go through 6 different exercises, all back to back to back to back. Whoever comes out on top is your winner. For some of these ladies, it's very high stakes. This means qualification to Carson or not. What you're about to see is workout number 6 of 6. The previous 5 workouts looked like this. Workout number 1, start with a 1,000 meter run, do 30 handstand push-ups, and finish with a 1,000 meter row. Then workout number 2, the thruster ladder. How much weight can you squat and throw over your head? Third workout, 3 rounds of heavy deadlifts and a high box jump. Then workout number 4, a gauntlet of exercises that starts with 100 pull-ups, followed by kettlebell swings, jump ropes, and overhead squats. Workout number 5 was a sprint, a brutal combination of ring muscle-ups and heavy squat snatches. Now, the final event, the chipper. Workout 6 looks something like this. First, these athletes are going to get onto a Concept 2 rowing machine and pull for 20 calories. Then, they're going to do 30 burpees. The burpee standard is that the ladies must drop into the bottom of a push-up position with their chest touching the ground, then stand and jump on top of 2 bumper plates with their hips at full extension. The next movement is the dumbbell ground to overhead. They must start with both heads of the dumbbells touching the ground, then move both dumbbells at the same time from the ground to overhead with arms reaching full extension at the top. After this, 50 toes to bar. The athlete hangs from the bar with their feet behind them, then touch their toes to the bar. The final sprint starts after the toes to bar when the athlete must put a 25-pound plate overhead and do walking lunges for 100 feet. The knee kisses the ground and the hips reach full extension. Then they finish all of this off with a 150-foot sprint. Now, let's meet our athletes. Ashley Breeze enters this competition in 7th position. She's a swimmer from San Jose State where she's now an assistant coach. She just missed qualifying for the games last year. Lori Galassi, she has a competitive gymnastic and circus performance background. She's excellent with the bodyweight movements, struggles somewhat when the weight gets heavy.
Get it done as fast as I can and just gut out the ground overhead.
Candace Hamilton Hester has been competing in the CrossFit Games since 2008. Last year she went to the team with CrossFit Oakland. She's back as an individual. This is one strong woman.
It's a dig. It's how bad do you want it. It's just on your rep, on your reputation, just trying to get after it, you know?
China Cho, a dark horse last year when she took 18th at the CrossFit Games. Now, she finds herself in a tie for 3rd. She has to kill this workout to qualify again.
Hoping to just go steady on the row, steady on the burpees, try to make up a little time on the dumbbells.
Jenny LaBaugh, she played soccer and ran track at Cornell University. She's got a huge engine, but trouble with muscle-ups put her in a precarious position going into this workout. Annie Sakamoto is the original Nasty Girl and a CrossFit.com legend. This is her first time competing as an individual. Don't let the size fool you. She's 60 inches of pure energy.
I didn't expect to be here. I definitely did not expect to be in 2nd place.
Elise Umeda was 11th place last year in the CrossFit Games final. She played guard for Princeton basketball, leading them to an Ivy League championship in 2006. She enters this event with a 10-point lead.
I've done this in about 14 minutes, so we're looking for sub 14 right now.
All right, folks, the wait is over. These athletes are all lined up. We go now to TJ Belger on the competition floor for the official start.
3, 2, 1. Go!
And this race is underway. These ladies not sprinting to the row machine. It's a long row that they have ahead of them.
Yeah, they need to pace themselves. The rower can be devastating. If you row too fast here, yeah, you might be the first one off,
but then you're not going to have anything left in the tank to keep going. Yeah, from right to left there, you had your first and second place finisher in the red tank top, Annie Sakamoto. She's in second place coming into this event. She's a CrossFit legend. She's got a huge engine, and there she goes, just pulling like hell.
Yeah, China Cho here moving a lot slower than the other athletes. I have to say, it surprises me. She needs to do really well in this event if she has any hope of going to the CrossFit Games.
Right, and as you said, this machine can destroy you. It incorporates every piece of musculature that you have and puts you at a huge deficit oxygen-wise. So some of these athletes moving very, very strong.
This is
fast.
Jenny Labat right here, and she is looking really strong. Now again, I'm a little bit worried she might come off this rower first and then collapse, but I gotta say, those legs are so powerful. She does not look like she's struggling.
So the two ladies you have tied for third place taking very drastically different approaches to this row from the get-go, and we'll see how it plays out. And Jenny Labat, first off the rower and on to the next movement, which is the burpee.
And it looks like Ashley Vries is also off the rower, and she's starting the burpees also.
Yeah, there's Vries at the top of your screen. So Vries, now we've got both Sakamoto and Umeda off of the row, and Candace Hamilton Hester as well. All these ladies now filtering into the next movement, which is the burpee.
Yeah, and you know, Ro, the only time that matters is your time across the finish line at the end of the entire workout. So it's exciting to watch these athletes move, but we have a long race ahead of us, and
we do, but you can't let them get too far ahead of you. So there you see China Cho, the last one off of the rower, and again, she needs to at least stay within spitting distance of these ladies.
if she has any hope of qualifying for the games, which of course is the goal.
Absolutely. Now,
Annie Sakamoto just flying through these burpees. Jenny Labat also very strong.
fans already on their feet. They've got a long road ahead. They need to pace themselves. We go now to commercial. We'll be back.
Babe, we gotta go.
You're right there. Don't worry. There you go.
Welcome back to the 2011 Reebok CrossFit Games Northern California Regional. We're in the final heat of the final event in the women's competition. If you're just joining us, these ladies have rowed 20 calories. They're on their second exercise. At this point, Jenny Labat is your runaway leader. All of the athletes now have moved on from the rower to the next exercise. The next exercise is a burpee. They owe 30 of these. This is an upward ladder that we're dealing with.
The burpee is a movement from the ground. You have to touch your chest and your thighs at the same time. Then it's a 2-foot jump onto the plate. Must show control at the top.
Right, so you're jumping off of both feet. Your overall leader right now, Labat, but only by a fraction. She's got these two ladies on her tail. Both Umeda and Sakamoto are going head-to-head. They're virtually coordinated at this point.
Yeah, and they're about the same size athlete. They're both incredibly fit. They're bouncing off the ground. They're cycling these movements very fast.
And Vries there, who's on the top of your screen, also in that race. She's got 23 reps. Here's China Cho. She's using a little bit of a different strategy. She's stepping down off the box, which is allowed. It's going the same distance as all the other athletes, just not as quickly.
Yeah, and so this is a big deal for China. She has to do well in this event for her to qualify for the games.
Yeah, Jenny Labat onto the ground to overhead, and right on her heels, Annie Sakamoto and Elise Umeda almost at the exact same time, but Labat picks them up first, so maintains her lead. Now the other girls are going down for the weights.
Yeah, the ground to overhead, the dumbbells need to move together. They start on the ground, both ends of the dumbbell touching the ground at the same time. Dumbbells moving together overhead all the way up to the top.
Right, and efficiency is key here. So you'll see these ladies using somewhat of a different strategy, but it looks like your strongest athletes are going to be moving through this more quickly. So look there at Labat, she is a hoss, and then you've got these two smaller athletes here having a little bit of trouble. Looks like Elise is starting to suck wind.
Yeah, this is a 35-pound dumbbell, combined total weight of 70 pounds. That's 60 to 70% of their body weight.
Amazing, yeah, and not necessarily for this young lady. She's got a lot of lower body strength, but she's actually using, you can see she's jumping these weights up with her lower body and not just using that upper body strength to get the weights overhead.
The hips are so powerful, it's essential that these athletes use the strongest and largest muscles instead of just trying to press it up.
And here comes China Cho finally. She's the last athlete onto the ground to overhead. She said that she was going to make up some time here. This is part of her strategy, and we're going to hear a little bit about that strategy now.
I hope it works because this is essential for her to do well.
I'm hoping to just go steady on the rows, steady on the burpees, try to make up a little time on the dumbbells, and then hopefully everyone's hurting on the toes to bar, and I won't be a little behind, maybe make up some ground there and just fight through it as hard as possible. But I feel like if you go out a little too fast on that row and those burpees, those dumbbells they can handle you instead of you handling them.
What an interesting strategy by China Cho, and I have to say, Tony, that for me, I would not be banking on these very fit women to tank, as she mentioned in her video.
It's true, but there is a deficit factor. So you can go too hard, too fast, and then have to rest more than other athletes.
Right, and so maybe it pays off for China. She's got 15 reps now, Labat 11 reps ahead of her. So if Labat does go down, then China has a chance to make up that ground.
Okay, we did see a little bit of clothes shedding. CrossFit athletes are known for being clothing averse.
That's right, they get a cotton allergy in the middle of a workout. So you got Sakamoto and you made it right on her tail, 22 and 23 reps respectively. Labat with 26, and then on the top of your screen, Ashley Varize sneaking in there with 25 reps.
You know, Annie Sakamoto is one of the smallest athletes in the competition. She also has 2 kids. She's the only mom on the field right now.
Right, and a lot of these athletes, it's really cool that they're actually gym owners too. So they're not like they're these professional athletes yet, but they also are taking care and they're putting a lot of stock into other people's well-being.
It's amazing. The CrossFit community is a huge part of why these athletes do what they do. And these, Annie particularly, and Elise, who also just opened up her own gym, spend their entire days trying to make other athletes better.
That's right, and we see that with many of these athletes. Now, we also know that Jenny Labat is a soccer player. She played at Cornell University. She ran the 800-meter dash as well.
Yeah, the 800-meter dash is a perfect time domain for CrossFit athletes.
That's right. So this young lady, Elise Shumeda, she's the only athlete we have representing the Hawaiian Islands. There's China Cho again. She has a little bit of history with the games. Last year she did really, really well at the Southwest competition, qualified, and she came in 18th in the Home Depot Center.
Yeah, and she's fighting right now to get another opportunity to go back to the Home Depot Center. And you know what? It's not looking great, although she is making up pretty significant ground.
Yeah, and there you go. At the top of your screen, Lori Galassi, interesting character. She's struggling with these heavy weights, but when she gets on that bar, it's going to be interesting. She actually performed in the circus.
Yep, she is a bodyweight maverick and is going to be dominant once we get there, as long as these dumbbells, these heavy dumbbells, do not destroy her in the process.
No doubt. And Candace Hamilton, she also has probably the most history out of any of these young ladies with the games. She's in the black tank top up there. She's been competing since 2008.
Annie, you can see, is starting to struggle with these weights. It is extremely heavy. The grip is starting to go. She's swinging the weights up, doing everything she can.
Jenny Labat, the first one onto the toes to bar. So she comes off first, and right on her heels, it looks like Sakamoto and Umeda are going to finish next.
Notice she's shaking out her hands. We've seen in other regionals athletes fall off the bar due to a failed grip.
Yeah, and China Cho was banking on her stopping. It doesn't look like it. She marched right over to that bar, took a quick shakeout, and she's already on it. She's got a couple of reps in the bag. She's got 5. Varize at the top of the screen, right on her heels. She's got a couple of reps now. So China Cho needs to turn it up even more than she already has to make up that ground, I think.
Yep, Annie Sakamoto and Elise Shumeda dropping the dumbbells.
Head to head, going over to that bar. So these young ladies have almost gone rep for rep since they left the row machine. And we'll see who can jump up on that bar first.
Yeah, China has 3 more reps to go, but Elise Shumeda right there repping out the toes to bar. Annie's resting more than you'd expect.
Yeah, Annie looks like she's gassing just a little bit. And like you said with Lori Galassi, we expect a lot of things with the bodyweight movements out of Sakamoto here.
Yeah, and again, it shows you how devastating the ground to overhead movement is.
Right, and so these two ladies, what's interesting, and even Jenny Labat, one of the things that she said going into this competition, we asked her how she felt about the competition as a whole. She said it's so cool to see the camaraderie. These guys are competing head to head in the heat of the moment, but at the end of the day, they're all very good friends and they're all very supportive of each other, even during the event.
Now, Jenny is in a position here where she's tied for third going in. She had a very, very difficult performance in Amanda. She struggled with the muscle-ups, only ended up with 4 muscle-ups.
Right, and she's been involved with CrossFit for some time, but not as a competitor, and she said some of these more technical movements are giving her trouble. Right now, we have to cut to commercial. We'll be right back with the conclusion of this event. you're just joining us, we've rounded the halfway mark in this workout. We're on the 4th stage of 6.
This is the toes to bar, and literally the ladies need to bring their toes to the bar 50 times before moving on.
Right in the top of your screen there in the turquoise tank top, that's Lori Galassi. She's a gymnastics coach. This is really her bread and butter. So if you're lacking any clarity, check her out on those movements.
She just got to the bar. Now you see Annie Sakamoto and Elise Umeda. They are spending some time resting. This is a surprise. Usually the body weight movements are easier for smaller athletes.
Right, and Umeda not doing quite as bad, but Sakamoto, very surprising to see her suffering on these. She's only got 17 reps to Umeda's 25. They started at the same time.
Oh, she's hanging from the bar and regripping. I've never seen that on a toe
Something
to
I've never
bar.
seen either, but you mentioned grip. Grip is one of the first things to go. These guys were just hanging onto those dumbbells for 40 reps. Now they've got 50 reps here hanging their own body weight underneath the bar.
China Cho's a big story here. She just got a no rep, but up to that point, she was flying through this. That was her original strategy.
That's right, and Cho, she came onto the bar later on, but she's made up a lot of ground. There you see one of your leaders, Varese. She's going head-to-head with Labat. They both got 35, 36 reps.
Jenny Labat is moving nice and steady through here. She's a little bit larger athlete, but she needs to maintain that pace and minimize her rest.
And China Cho looking over at her. These ladies were tied for 3rd coming into this. Cho is actually, her strategy is paying off somewhat. She's made up a lot of ground. We almost flipped the script from the rower where Jenny was doing 2 for 1 to every one of Umeda, or every one of Cho's. Now Cho is doing 2 for 1 for every one of hers.
Yeah, China Cho came to the bar when Jenny Labat was on 20 reps. She has now made that up, and she is within 7 reps of Jenny.
And here we go, Varese at 44. She's got 6 reps left. Labat on 43. She's got 7 reps left. We're going to see one of these ladies maybe off the bar first. Galassi's making up some ground too.
China Cho has just caught up to Elise Umeda. This is absolutely essential. China is 1 point behind Annie Sakamoto going into this event. If she finishes 2 points ahead of Annie, she's going to the CrossFit Games in July.
Right, and some large consequences for Annie. If she finishes last, which is possible, then she's not going to go to the games.
And Ashley Varese has started the walking
lunges.
lunges.
Varese, the first one on the walking lunge. She came into this event in 7th place. Now she's our heat leader at this point, and she's making up a real good time.
And this is the walking lunge. You have to keep the 25-pound plate overhead while touching that back knee.
Oh, Labat and Galassi off the bar at the same time, and now they're in a head-to-head race for 2nd place in the heat. Labat moving very strongly.
They need to do 1 lap down, turn around at the cones, and 1 lap back. Then it's a 3-lap sprint.
There, Varese looking strong. She's already at the turnaround point, and Labat just by a length ahead of Galassi, but she's looking like the stronger athlete at this point.
If Lori Galassi can catch Jenny Labat, she has a small chance of making it to the podium.
She's literally 3 steps. Oh, but she puts down the weight 3 steps behind. She's not going to make up that ground at this rate.
Ashley Varese looking very strong, continues to move almost without interruption.
Yeah, but Labat she's making up that ground, almost catching her. Now we see China Cho off the bar and onto the walking lunges, as well as Elise Umeda right on her tail.
This is absolutely essential for China Cho to stay ahead of Elise. If she can maintain this lead, she is going to the CrossFit Games.
And there's your leader from this heat. Ashley Varese is going to finish this in 1st place, so she takes the heat in 12 minutes and 43 seconds.
China Cho continues to keep her lead over Elise Umeda.
Jenny Labat slides into 2nd with 12:50, only 7 seconds behind Ashley Varese.
Elise Umeda is looking really strong here. She's got that plate back overhead. It looks like she's going to catch China Cho.
And China Cho's got to go. Oh, China Cho puts down the weight. China Cho, she's got to get in her own head. She's got to battle those demons and keep that weight up.
Elise hesitated. They're back neck and neck.
And China moving strongly again. But no, she puts the weight down again. Elise continues to charge.
She cannot do that if she's going to make it to the games. This is not a good sign for China Cho.
And look at the pain on Elise's face. She's a true competitor. Doesn't have to win here, but she wants to win.
Annie Sakamoto is now on the walking lunge.
And Elise has put down the weight with China just a few steps behind her. China can still make up this ground.
If she catches her, she's going to the CrossFit Games. If she doesn't, that's the end of the road.
She's got to dig deep. This is a gut check. It's all hard at this point. And Elise coming up on the finish line. Does not look like China can make up that ground. Elise crosses the finish line first. There's China at the turnaround, and she's going to come in after, and it looks unofficially like she's lost her spot to the games.
She has. That's it. That's the end of the road. China Cho did not have what it took to beat Elise Umeda and make her trip to the CrossFit Games.
So her 13:47 finish, not good enough. This young lady, Annie Sakamoto, had to finish better than last place. Candace Hamilton-Hester still not even onto the walking lunge, so it looks like she's managed to do that.
Yeah, Annie Sakamoto is going to be the 3rd athlete behind Jenny Labat and Elise Umeda going to the CrossFit Games.
Wow. So there's your 3 ladies. What a battle to the finish. What a day here at NorCal at the fairgrounds. The winners of this event, Ashley Varese comes out of nowhere with a score of 12:43. Labat in 2nd, 7 seconds behind, and Lori Galassi takes 3rd with 13:02. Umeda, Cho, Sakamoto, and Hester round out the rest of the heat.
just secured yourself a spot to the games. How does it feel? What are you feeling right now?
I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm new to this, so it's phenomenal. I was baffled at how the camaraderie. Like I didn't know what to expect, and there was no question. I had to go. I had to give everything I absolutely had. It was the last workout of the day. I definitely had a